Welcome back to Kill Rock Radio. My name is Rocky. Back up in this piece. Just looking to talk a little bit about hard rock and heavy metal and all the dumb shit going on within said sphere. Ronnie Radke, people know he's an asshole, but has he done stole Tommy Lee's chick? Or is there something more nefarious at play? We'll talk about that. Also, Ghost has done something that no rock band has done for years and years. Something that puts them in the pantheon with all the great rock and roll acts of the modern era. We will talk about that here in a moment. Also, all kinds of listener comments. We'll get to that. In the meantime, you guys might notice the setting is just a touch different. Really, my motherboard on my the computer that I normally produce the show on, it went out. Not out. It's doing some weird shit. I gotta mess with the settings and stuff. I'll get it right. Until then, it put me behind schedule. It's already been a couple weeks since the last video, so I said, fuck it. I'm gonna come here to the other corner and work on the show over here. So this is my first time doing it on this computer with this mic. I don't know if it's going to come out cool, if it's going to come out shitty. As you see, I don't have my headphones, so I don't even hear this shit. I'm going to hear it on the backside. So if it sounds like shit, I apologize. This is the best I could do in this moment. So anyways, let's go ahead and move on to this Ronnie Radke story. This has really started to blow up online because this is a story that is actually like fairly common these days, which is that people, they're involved in a marriage, maybe something's going wrong with the marriage, one of the partners starts to get outside influence via some sort of nefarious internet contact, and it ends up ruining the whole relationship. That may be what has happened here, as the legendary Tommy Lee of Motley Crue. He is now separated from his hot-ass wife. And though some people say behind the scenes that Tommy Lee's drinking is allegedly a big part of the problem, a bigger part of the problem, and what apparently made this all come to a head, was that Brittany Furlan had confessed to Tommy that she was in an online relationship with none other than Falling in Reverse frontman Ronnie Radke. But it turns out that may not have been the case. Ronnie Radke claims that he was not the guy talking to Tommy Lee's wife, that Tommy Lee's wife has in fact been catfished by some rando pretending to be Ronnie Radke. So to sort of, I guess, set the stage of events, you have Tommy Lee, Brittany Furlan, they're having issues. Apparently it's related to drinking. Around that time, Brittany Furlan is contacted by someone on Snapchat claiming to be Ronnie Radke. Obviously, Brittany Furlan, she's fucking Tommy Lee. She's into rock stars. So that catches her attention. She's like, ooh. So she engages in an online relationship with this person.
Okay, good luck, ho. Next call.
So this whole thing ends up coming to its climax when the fake Ronnie Radke had contacted Brittany Furlan and basically said, meet me at my old house. Let's meet up. And if you're somebody who's out there in the dating scene, you know that when somebody tells you to meet up, that's the new code for come get this dick.
Me so horny.
So she tells Tommy Lee, hey, I gotta go meet somebody. So she goes presumably to fuck Ronnie Radke. She gets there, nobody's there. She freaks the fuck out. She gets home. Tommy Lee, of course, is like, you had to go meet somebody?
Fuck that! Don't waste my fucking time!
And they get into a beef, and she confesses that she's in this online relationship with Ronnie Radke. So from there, Tommy Lee confronts Ronnie Radke. Ronnie Radke, being a good media whore, takes the entire thing, all the texts, all the bullshit, he posts them online along with a video explaining why everyone is so fucking stupid for falling for this. A video for Brittany Furlan and everyone like her who has been taken advantage of by a fake Ronnie Radke.
This is my Instagram. The only one I have. This is not me. I don't have a Snapchat. I've never had a Snapchat, guys. Like, dude, when she doesn't send nudes when I ask, like, I mean, I don't know why anybody would ever fall for, that's not even how I speak, guys. So if you're like falling for stuff like this, you are literally just, dude, come on.
What apparently fucked Brittany Furlan up so bad and got her so caught up is that there was a Snapchat video that this catfish sent to her that was apparently shot in the mirror, and she felt it was shot in the way that Ronnie Radke shoots his little videos. And she heard a voice say, "Good luck on the podcast, babe." And she was gonna go do a podcast. So how could this be?
You dumb bastard.
You couldn't verify? You know, Ronnie Radke, in his stuff, he showed that she was trying to track him across all the platforms, and he followed her on none of them. He replied to her on none of them. So, okay, Ronnie Radke, for a long time, he had a live-in girlfriend, the gorgeous Saraya of AEW, formerly known as Paige in WWE. They were in a relationship, living together for a long-ass time, and knowing that he had a live-in girlfriend, she was talking to him. So I guess maybe she thought that, like, oh, he's trying to keep it on the DL with this Snapchat. But once again, you're a fucking idiot, because the Snapchat, he's still representing himself as Ronnie Radke. If it was a fake hidden Snapchat, like, wouldn't your picture be like, oh, I'm Jim, I love cats? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't put it on blast that you're Ronnie Radke. Otherwise, it's just another official account, stupid fucking idiot.
You fucking income fucking poop.
And once again, she runs in these circles. Why can't she just ask someone for his number? If you're talking to him and you're like, oh shit, I don't know if this is actually him or not, there are simple ways to verify. I guarantee you they have shared friends. She had ways to verify whether this was Ronnie or not. In the aftermath, you know, once again, thank you to Ronnie for posting everything. We get this fascinating look at the back and forth texts and all that shit. It starts off with Tommy Lee all like, "Don't fuck with me, dude." And Ronnie Radke, of course, he's quizzical. He doesn't understand what the fuck's going on. He says, "I never once communicated with your wife." Hold on, let me check. Okay, so if I accuse you of fucking my wife and you can't give me a real no, you're like, wait a second, let me check my shit. Ronnie Radke, congrats to your dick, bro. He must be getting so much ass right now.
Tame the cunt.
When you're in like a multi-year relationship and you get out and like, oh, fucking dog out of the cage, baby. You're sticking left, you're sticking right.
Women. I said women. I'm not gay.
If a guy says, "Are you fucking my wife?" you should be able to, off the top of your head, say no without having to go check your DMs and verify. No, in fact, I am not fucking your wife. So anyways, Tommy Lee says, "What the fuck are you talking about on Snapchat? You guys are supposed to have us some fucking faggots ass dinner date last night." Now, see, Tommy Lee is obviously in a rage here. What he clearly meant to say is, you guys are supposed to have some fucking faggot ass dinner date last night. I don't know what that refers to, because obviously it's a heterosexual meeting if Ronnie Radke is showing up to try to fuck Tommy Lee's wife, so I don't know where the homosexual element comes in. Is there maybe a burlesque show?
You understand, you motherfucker?
Ronnie Radke says, "Bro, I don't have Snapchat. I like you, bro. I wouldn't mess with your wife." To which Tommy Lee says, "That's funny, 'cause she says you're lying." And Ronnie Radke, once again, to be fair, says, "You know what? I'm going to check my DMs again one more time," looks through it, and once again verifies that he is in fact not fucking Tommy Lee's wife. fake Ronnie Radke lets her know, meet up at the place. If somebody gets in touch with me and says like, dude, let's meet up. Hey, I'm shaving my pubes. I'm getting ready for some balls deep action. I'm sure she showed up looking like $1 million. She's a gorgeous woman, Brittany Furlan. She shows up when Ronnie Radke is not there because it's no longer his house. I believe she did the deal where like you call someone, but it's through the social media app. By the way, do people answer that? Like when people call you through Snapchat or any one of these social media apps, does anyone ever answer those? Anyways, so she calls. Of course he doesn't fucking answer. She leaves this long rambling message. Once again, thank you, Ronnie Radke. He posted it. And a couple of the highlights of that, she's explaining to him how she ended up outside of his house. Quote, last night had me drive out to your fucking old house in Hawthorne to meet up. And I don't know if this is just some joke and you and your girl were like laughing at it or whatever. And like, dude, I'm not trying to start shit. I'm not that kind of person.
That was the biggest load of crap I've ever heard.
She says she's not trying to start shit. She's not that type of person. However, she's married and she's trying to meet up with a guy that at the time has a live-in girlfriend, but she's not trying to start shit.
Well, you are actually a hoe, though.
So from there, she explains to Ronnie essentially why Tommy contacted him, how this all came out. She says, I didn't even mean to start shit, but I came home last night and, you know, my husband was like, what's fucking going on? And I'm just an honest person and I just came clean. Okay.
What do you think I am?
Once again, you're an honest person who had been going behind your husband's back to talk to essentially one of his professional contemporaries. Because, you know, not that Motley Crue's touring a lot, but they are still a band that goes out and tours. So, I mean, that would be pretty fucking lame. It's like if your wife started fucking somebody you worked with. Even if he's not in the same department or whatever, he's a guy that works in the same field as you and your wife has left you for him. It makes you seem like a lame, limp dick piece of shit. And I mean, what a sad thing it would be to see Tommy's flag at half-mast, if you will. We remember celebrating that cock. It was so, everybody loved it so much. Everybody loved seeing it. He'd take it out. He'd do tricks with it. He'd slap it on ladies. He'd do things that, you know, by today's standards, probably would bring up sexual assault charges. But at the time, we all thought it was funny. So she continues, I've been talking to this person on Snapchat, and you know, I don't know how it's not you. But if you're saying it's not you, that doesn't make any sense to me because I don't know how someone could film themselves in a video and go, have a good podcast, babe. Once again, I almost feel bad for Brittany. She's clearly a dullard.
Calm down, girl.
I understand, guys. We totally think with our dick. We'll put ourselves in bad situations and shit like that. We deserve that. But women, holy shit. When they have decided that they are going to chase a dude, logic be damned. Everything goes out the fucking window. They are willing to believe the bullshit story because they want what they want. And this little piece of shit video saying, have a good podcast, babe. Would Ronnie Radke do that? I mean, his girlfriend at the time was like on TV every week. Do you think he would say, have good luck on TV, babe? So she continues. When we started messaging saying like, don't snitch, whatever. And I didn't even fucking snitch. I was just like, I was supposed to go meet up with somebody and, you know, I was crying and I felt bad and like we've been going through it and, you know, dude, like I'm not even trying to fucking start drama for you. And then he was like, who was it? And I fucking told him and this just turned into this. And I just told him to leave it alone. But of course, like, he's not. And I'm sorry for anything that he said to you. I'm just really hurt, and I don't even know how this wasn't you. So even in this moment with Ronnie Radke, the dude, replying to Tommy Lee, her husband, which is way more verifiable than a fucking Snapchat. It came from his phone. He said, that is not me. And she still doesn't want to believe that shit. In the aftermath, she contacted his ex-girlfriend, the lovely Soraya, and left her a message. Soraya has a little bit more class and hasn't published that message, though Brittany was shouting her out online and shit like that. I mean, it's a fucking mess. Last I heard, they're getting the FBI involved. What are we calling the FBI for? We already have the baddest ass catfish sniffer outers that exist. My boy Neve. Just call Neve. Say we have this. They'll make a whole fucking special on it. You can be on TV. It's going to be fantastic. Brittany Furlan, have your people call MTV right the fuck right now and get something going. You know, Ronnie Radke, obviously he's a whore. Tommy Lee's doing anything to hang on and be relevant. Brittany Furlan, what keeps her in any level of fame outside of this type of shit? That being said, Brittany and Tommy are just separated. They are not divorced as of yet. And I think right now he must be stroking that gigantic, juicy hog of his. He must be working that thing up and down with joy. Imagine if you've got a girlfriend and she's trying to cheat on you and it turns out it's a catfish the whole time.
I think you've got a heart off.
Like, it sucks. Like, it sucks to fuck up the relationship like that. But at the same time, if it's going to get fucked up, oof. Man, you won on that one. Tommy Lee gets to walk away feeling pretty decent about themselves. I would assume, if I was Brittany, I'd go to this motherfucker and I'd say, listen, mistakes were made. I apologize. Please just let me back in the fucking house. I get the feeling they're probably going to get back together because she's going to come back, tail between her legs. And the bottom line is, Tommy is getting pretty fucking old. He's not who he used to be. He still has that magnificent cock of his, but he's getting a little long in the tooth. Could you necessarily get a hotter chick than this? I don't know. So he'd probably take her back. We'll see. That's my call. We'll see how it goes. Until then, we will get back to you with any updates. Okay, so moving on. It's no secret that rock music, heavy metal music, hard rock, I mean, every subgenre of rock has commercially been kind of in the shitter. As far as I'm concerned, I think rock music is more popular than people would have you believe. It's just, I think right now we're in a time where it's really, really difficult to gauge what is truly popular, because now streaming and YouTube streams and shit like that, it's all figured into the final number. And those things are so easy to bullshit. I feel like right now, record companies, if they want something to be number one, they can bullshit it to number one. They'll bundle merch stuff. They'll bundle, like if you buy a ticket, they give you an album and that counts as a sale. Of course, there's a million ways to bullshit the algorithms as far as Spotify goes. It wasn't until the 90s. Think of all the giant metal bands that have been out there before the early 90s, when you had the very first heavy metal album to debut at number one on the Billboard 200, which was the Pantera classic Far Beyond Driven. Now, in the 2020s, there had only been one album to debut at number one. It was AC/DC's Power Up. So since then, it had been a 4-year drought. Since that AC/DC album, 297 albums went to number one before we got another rock album at number one.
Fuck that!
But now, 2 out of 3 weeks, we have had rock bands, metal-ish bands at the top of the charts, starting off with the Swedish powerhouse Ghost, whose album Skeletta debuted at number one on the Billboard 200. As I said, 4 years since that had happened. And then, not to be outdone, Sleep Token debuts at number one. So after that long drought, you have 2 out of 3 weeks with a, you know, rock / heavy metal band debuting in that top spot. So it begs the question, is rock back? Is this the new movement? Because you look out there right now and you can already see the industry has seen something there in Ghost. And now you're pumping out all these bands that kind of have a similar look. Like right now, you see President getting pushed really hard. And Sleep Token, like you see a lot of bands not necessarily stealing the look, but stealing their style. So yeah, you've already seen the industry reacting and trying to take what those bands have and disperse it throughout. I was a little surprised to see Ghost debut at number one because it is so niche. And the Satanism, it does scare people away. But Sleep Token was like, dude, you could see that coming. That was a train coming down the track, man. I'm not even positive these dudes aren't industry plants. Is this the next music movement? Wouldn't it be so weird? Like you go back and you think, you know, you had the grunge movement, you had new metal, you had shit like that. And now we have dudes in masks. This does have something in common with grunge in the sense that, like, if you look at the quote-unquote grunge bands, they didn't play the same style of music. You know, Nirvana and Soundgarden were sort of lumped in together, but if you listen to them sonically, they're not the same at all. You know, Soundgarden is like metal bordering on like almost classic rock in the moment, whereas Nirvana was just like straight up punk music. You know, Alice in Chains versus Pearl Jam, shit like that. Because if you listen to Ghost, there's somebody that gets shit on all the time because there are people who are like, oh, they're not metal. And I think just because you look at them and you see what they visually put out there, you would almost expect them to be like a death metal band. And they come out and they play this shit that just, I mean, it sounds simultaneously out of time and then super modern. From the 90s all the way through now, in metal, it had been an arms race. Who can be the heaviest? And we've gotten heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier to the point that now, you know, if you don't have blast beats, you're a pussy. People tell me Ghost is not metal. I tell those people, suck a funky fat ass dick.
Well, then, dude, suck that shit.
Oh, yeah!
If you don't think that Ghost is metal, you don't know what metal is, bro. Have you ever heard Iron Maiden? Have you ever heard Judas Priest, you motherfucker? Not all heavy metal is like fucking death screams and Cookie Monster vocals and chugging whatever the fuck. And these bands prove that. Ghost is accessible to anyone. Once again, if you can get past how they look and the Satanism and all that shit, Ghost, I mean, really, it is kind of like the perfect Satanist music in the sense that, like, it's all earworms. Even if you're the most Christian motherfucker in the world, you hear, like, Square Hammer, or you hear Lacrima, or, you know, any of these fucking songs, you listen to it and you're like, oh, these motherfuckers. But next thing you know, you're tapping your fucking toe, you're singing that fucking chorus. That's how Ghost is. You could say whatever the fuck you want about Ghost, but they've won the Super Bowl of music. They had the #1 album in the motherfucking world. But not to be outdone, right on their heels, here comes Sleep Token. And I think Sleep Token is going to be bigger than Ghost. Like here, I saw this stat in Billboard saying that the new Sleep Token album, even in Arcadia, has scored the largest ever streaming week for a hard rock album. All 10 of its songs reside in the Billboard Hot 100. And that is the type of chart penetration, as they say, that you only get with big time. Like, this is like when Taylor Swift comes out and all these little fucking animals that love her, they have to listen to every single fucking song a million times. That's what you're seeing here with Sleep Token. That's legit fucking fanaticism. That's a band that's pumping out banger after banger. Like, they are competing at the highest level. And so if you start to say, well, is this the next movement? Is this the next big thing? Even though you could look at the masks and the anonymity and all that shit and say, oh, gimmicks, total bullshit. The music is insanely creative. Both bands. I mean, to me, I'm a Ghost dude. To me, Ghost is like the baddest shit out right now. But Sleep Token, I can absolutely see where the fanaticism comes from. I can absolutely see why people love this band. Now, the industry is taking notice as Kali Uchis. I'm not super familiar with her. I did listen to some of her shit. She sounds like an Amy Winehouse, Lana Del Rey, R&B type. You know what I'm saying? Like, I listened to it. It's good shit. I'm not gonna shit on her music. Totally good stuff. She debuted at number 4, which is fantastic. Afterwards, she posted a screen cap with a message saying, Coochies did that. No payola / big commercial single / features / gimmicks required.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Gimmickry is responsible for some of the greatest music in the history of hard rock and heavy metal. So listen, I understand if you see it that way, but now Sleep Token is being accused of being in blackface. It all came up when a user commented on the fact that Kali Uchis had put up a screen cap of her debuting at number 4, which is nothing to sneeze at. Very impressive for a young artist to come in at number 4. But she had covered up Vessel. And my homie Nopamine commented here, imagine being so petty that you censor the number 1 band on an IG story. Sleep Token is better. To which Kali Uchis replied, to be honest, I didn't feel comfortable posting a photo of someone in blackface. It really wasn't deeper than that, doll. Do you really fucking think for 1 second that in 2025 they would put a band out there that's in blackface?
Shut your goddamn ass up.
There's no, YouTube wouldn't just let that play. At this point, you could barely even curse on YouTube. YouTube's like TV now anyways. The whole point of Sleep Token is that they're anonymous. They paint themselves completely black. But it's that you could never consider it blackface because they are not pretending to be black people. First off, I have no fucking clue what race they are. Nobody does. Vessel may be a black dude for all I know. Maybe he's black in black paint. Maybe he's a white guy. There are people I know who are they are dead set positive that Vessel is a black dude. But then a lot of people are like, well, they're British. There's no way they're black dudes. I don't fucking know. Secondly, they have masks on. I mean, Vessel in particular has like a white mask on. So what is that? What is his face? His face is a mask. So, okay, he's got black painted, like a black painted body, but in terms of blackface, you know, what's shitty about blackface is you're representing yourself as a black person, in a lot of cases, taking advantage of black stereotypes, presenting that shit in a fucked up way. These guys are not presenting themselves as black people. They are presenting themselves as like demons who are like the literal color black. They are not claiming to be of African descent. So I don't get what the fuck she's talking about. Then somebody else brought up the point that she made no point to cover up Morgan Wallen, who at some point they attempted to cancel him because he's on tape screaming the N-word and shit like that. He's clearly one of these fucking idiots who tries to use it like to let you know he's fucking cool or something. That's the part of it that offended me the most. Kali Uchis said, I actually know nothing about either person. I just saw a photo that made me uncomfortable and covered it. I almost feel like you're looking for shit, because like, if you see someone painted black, once again, they're wearing a mask. You don't even know. Like, you don't even know what the fuck that person's trying to do. You don't know what they're trying to put across. You're coming from a place of complete and utter ignorance. And I don't mean ignorance in the sense like that word is often connected to racism. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying ignorance in the sense that you don't know shit. You're not looking to know shit. You're not going to go out of your way to know shit. I believe she did eventually take some of these posts down. So obviously she's taken some shit about it. You know, I started looking around and I did see multiple people saying like, are we going to pretend these guys aren't in blackface? Is it blackface if they're wearing masks? I don't fucking know. I guess that's a question that we're going to have to deal with now, because Sleep Token, Ghost, all these motherfuckers, they have arrived. How many bullshit gimmicky ass wannabes are the labels gonna dig up here over the next few months? I guess we will find out. Until then, we will keep you up to date with any other rock bands going #1. I guess we'll see. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get into some of your comments. If you remember last episode, we had talked about this Spirit Box versus Falling in Reverse, specifically Ronnie Radke beef, and we had gotten a lot of response. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to read through a few of these comments. My homeboy TTDTTD says, I think your take is pretty terrible. Ronnie is not jealous. LMAO. Get good.
Look, you fucking chunky pumpkin head. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I had to look that up. It's like these dickheads who play Call of Duty say this shit. Any Call of Duty person is going to be a big Ronnie Radke fan and will not understand any sort of subtlety. So I could understand why you can't see what, as to me, is pretty obvious.
You understand, you motherfucker?
When I say Ronnie is jealous, to me it's pretty clear and obvious, because this supposed beef all starts off with a story where Spirit Box drop off a Falling in Reverse tour because the Spirit Box fans sort of called the band out for being involved with such a piece of shit human being like Ronnie Radke. As a result, it started this beef. Now, in the moment, Ronnie Radke said, oh, I can never be mad at these guys. They're such sweethearts and all that shit. And now, not even a year later, everything's changed. They're the biggest piece of shit. Everything they do sucks. This is the worst shit I ever heard. I can't believe it. What has changed other than the fact that Spirit Box were nominated for a Grammy? He showed his ass when he brought it up in one of the comments. Oh, I can't believe this is what you guys put up for a Grammy. So you could shit on the take. It's fine. It just is what it is. Anyways, next, my homeboy Kyle Parks says, seen both bands live. Falling in Reverse is a headliner epic metal show. Spirit Box is an undercard opener with a decent screamer. Just my opinion. I haven't been able to see either of these bands live, so I can't tell you one way or the other. I can tell you that Spirit Box are on a headlining tour right now, and I wanted to go. The reason I couldn't go is because every fucking show is sold out. Spirit Box is a band on the rise. If you've seen them in the past and you think they're an undercard act, well, that's because they're developing at a very fast rate. These motherfuckers have come up out of nowhere. If you look at how quickly they've risen to fame, it's like a 5-year span, which these days, that's a really quick turnaround to have out multiple albums, multiple world tours, a Grammy nomination. And in every form of entertainment, people love you when you're underneath them. But as you come up in the ranks, as you pass them, they're going to have beef because they're going to say, oh, you're not as good as me. You're not on my level. But they are. It's not a meritocracy in the sense that like, well, I've been around longer or I've tried harder or anything like that. It's literally chosen by the people. The people choose who the fuck goes over. So thank you very much. El Chapo Guzman says Ronnie Radke makes music for emo teenage 40-year-olds. LOL. You know, I feel like new Falling in Reverse music is shit that guys in their 40s will put on to make young girls think that they're cool. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're somebody who goes to rock and metal clubs and stuff like that, you'll notice it's pretty much a sausage fest. And if you're a single guy in his late 30s, early 40s, you want to be cool, you see a hot, young, big titty, goth looking chick come in, you want to go talk to her, you want to go buy her a beer, but meanwhile, you've been listening to the same fucking Slayer albums and Metallica albums and shit like that, and you know she's not going to think you're cool worth a shit. So what you could do is get an emo haircut and pretend like you're into Falling in Reverse.
Rapist here.
And then you just blast it in your car and, you hope that these young women will say, oh shit, this guy's with it. He's listening to this shitty trap, rap, metal, hybrid bullshit that Ronnie Radke does these days. I'm gonna fuck him. That's what these guys are hoping.
Boink there.
So I think you're pretty right on, El Chapo. If I was gonna go on a date with like a 28-year-old metalhead chick, I'd have to. I couldn't even tell you, what does a 28-year-old metalhead chick even listen to? What band is she into? Could I blast my Turnstile? That's newer shit. Will I come off looking awesome with that? But yeah, if you got like a 28-year-old chick in your car, she doesn't want to listen to your fucking Judas Priest records. So you'd put shit like this on. It's got Jelly Roll. It's got a celebrity collabs. I think chicks will like it. And that's, I think that actually probably accounts for at least 30% of the Falling in Reverse audience. And finally, we're going to hit my boy, It's Holes, dude. I see you're a subscriber. That makes you a better person in my eyes. Like and subscribe if you'd like me to think better of you. Anyways, my homie Holes, he says, dude, I am tired of hearing Ronnie yap. He's annoying. He dissed Breaking Benjamin, who is far better, in my opinion. Motionless in White, and now Spirit Box. Radke, bro, your old news, buddy. Just like my opinion, it's just an opinion, no facts. Thank you very much, Holes. Thank you very much for your subscription. You're my boy. Ronnie Radke, in a lot of ways, it's smart marketing, but, it's also super fucking annoying how he makes a point, a big part of who he is as an entity, because obviously Falling in Reverse is a band, but the bottom line is it's Ronnie Radke. He could fire all those guys, easily replace them. Nobody would give a shit. It wouldn't change the quality of the music or anything like that. He is completely in charge of that band. And so that's why he can speak with such impunity. Nobody's going to come up and be like, hey, dude, what the fuck are you doing? I think early on, Ronnie Radke found that it really gained you a following to be caught up in all this messy bullshit online. People love it. I think he saw that, you could use controversy to turn that over into fans, and he's taken great advantage of it. And really, it's a smart move. Of all people, you're not going to call out some band that's like your contemporary. Fuck that. Call out a big band. Call out a band that can sell out an arena. Let's say you talk mad shit about Breaking Benjamin, who do have a fuck ton of fans. And let's say, 3,000 of their fans go and check out Falling in Reverse as a result of wanting to shit on Radke. Let's even say all 3,000 fans go there, shit on Ronnie Radke, and nobody likes him at all. It doesn't matter. It still put money in his pocket. It still gets his shit all up in the algorithm. Ronnie Radke is very shrewd when it comes to online marketing. He's no sucker when it comes to that shit. So anyways, you can go to killrockradio.co and buy a koozie, buy a sticker. They're both very cheap items, tariff-free, though they are made by Chinese people. They were made by Chinese people in the past. And so you can get them. They're very cheap, tariff-free, fun things. And you'll be supporting the show. And I will let you crazy motherfuckers go. I will talk to you next time. Peace.
To keep up with the latest and catch up on past interviews and clips, search Kill Rock Radio on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe to Kill Rock Radio wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm like, oh my God, just listen to it already. Wherever you listen to podcasts.